So, you know how in a few of my videos I've referred to that video as being my most personal video? I'd say this one beats that by like a mile. Anyway, first of all, if the title is anything like I think it is, it's mainly referring to my mom. That's who I'm talking about in the title. And first of all, if you're watching this, you're still doing it. I mean, it's to be expected, but it's also the reason why I'm going to be saying some of the things that I'm going to be saying in this video. She says that she doesn't watch my videos, but, who knows. But this isn't really just about her. This is a lot just about my life in the way that I was raised. And I feel like in order to, like, move on and heal and become a better person and shit, I kind of need to talk about it. I don't even know what the. Oh, that was for when I recreated my first video. Wow, it has been so long. Anyway, I don't know if I just said this or if I just said it in my head but didn't say it out loud, but this channel I do view as my personal journal. Not so much in the sense that it's stuff that I don't want people to know about me in my real life, but more in the sense that it's stuff that I do want people to know about me, but I'm too scared to say to anyone. So I guess starting this off, a long time ago, about 4 years ago, my mom said to me, one day in a long time in the future, you're gonna be in therapy and you're gonna realize how badly we failed you as parents. And while I don't agree with that, I don't think my parents failed me at all. I think they did a good job for the most part. It didn't take therapy. It just took one semester of actually being independent and being on my own to realize the cracks in the way that I was raised and how that's affected me and how that's gonna affect me probably for the rest of my life. So I guess viewing this from the main point, the main way that or the main thing that I've discovered over these last few months, I was very, very overprotected, very sheltered, which I already knew about, but also, if one of my roommates walks in, I'm just gonna cut the recording and finish it later. Anyway, right, like I was saying, I was very, very sheltered, very overprotected. Like, I wasn't really allowed to make mistakes in a way. And I think as I got older and older and my parents realized that I was a fucking loser, they kind of tried to reverse that in a way, but oop, shit, it was already too late. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second, but basically when I was like 12 to 13 and shit, like I obviously wouldn't be allowed to just go out on the town or some shit like that, which is understandable. Very understandable. That's not the problem. And a lot of this I also blame on COVID, but like basically just the way that things ended up happening was when I turned 14, that was when COVID started, and I feel like my development sort of stopped there until 18, until now, my first semester of college. I feel like I've changed more as a person from August of this year to now than I did from March of 2020 to July of 2024, if that makes sense. In ways that can be affected. Like, obviously, I went through puberty and went from being like a fucking kid to a man. That changed me a lot, but I mean in ways that could actually be controlled by oneself. I was never allowed to go I was never allowed to actually go out with friends in a way that had a lot of freedom. It was always just like, think of when you're a kid and you'd hang out with friends, where it's like your parent would call their parent and then schedule you to meet up, and then you'd hang out at a place where everyone knew exactly where you were. I basically had that until I was 18. Like, I'm thinking about my brother, for example, who was 15, and he would just be hanging out with his friends, God knows where, and, like, obviously my mom would be insanely worried about him, but didn't matter. It was what happened. He was somewhere. She didn't know where. She got worried. I was too, like, considerate. That sounds bad. My brother is the best brother in the world and one of the nicest people in the world. But that's what happened. When he was a teenager, it was a lot of how you would expect like a rebellious teen to be, where their parents don't know where they are, they could be getting into some shit. I never had that, which is probably good, but like I said, I had nothing like that, which is probably why I didn't have friends or anything really. But once I went to college, my mom has been tracking my location a few times. She's been like really, really like just still overprotective, even though I'm hours away. And I'm just gonna mention this. Recently, we talked about it, and she apologized for everything. And that's why I say that I need time to heal. Because now I feel like I can really move on and become my own person. But yeah, that's what it took. It took months of being away from home and still feeling like I was a kid. But if you're wondering how this happened, how like we actually had this talk finally after not acknowledging it ever, it's an interesting story that I'm going to tell right now. When I visited home for Thanksgiving, really before that, when my brother and my cousin came to visit me here, my brother noticed from the way that I was talking and the things that I was saying that something was off. And he knew that it was related to our mom because, you know, we were obviously raised by the same mom. So he went through the same thing that I've been going through, which is kind of insane thinking about it. Basically, about being put under a lot of pressure to have the college experience that we're supposed to have, sort of. And there is like another layer of it, which I'm like, I'll tell that soon ish, but I'm not even comfortable talking about it right now because it's so recent and it's so like traumatizing. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. But because of the way that I am, it is for me. You'll know once I make that video. Anyway, when I visited home, at some point my brother talked to my mom, just like, I think you're putting too much pressure on him. Like, this is what you did to me. I think it needs to stop. And, like I already said, I think that I have the best brother ever, but, like, I'm never gonna forget this, because that was just really nice of him to say and do. So yeah, we ended up having that conversation, and I feel like now I'm actually going to be able to become my own person more and more because of that. But what my mom said to me was like, if I back off and let you become an adult, will you feel more comfortable talking to me? Will you feel like you'll be able to talk to me about anything? And I said yes, which is true. But like I said, I need time, I feel like. Because when I was younger, or I guess until a week ago, anytime I felt like I felt like anytime I told my mom anything about anything, there would be like serious consequences to it. Which is usually just she would get really, really worried about me. So I need time to sort of escape from that, I guess. And actually feel like I can talk to my mom, or really, I guess, both my parents, anyone in my family, really feel comfortable talking to them again. And I feel like this video, the structure hasn't even made sense, but like I said, this video is important. I haven't been uploading a lot, mainly because, well, if you check my newest short, you'll know why. That's genuinely the main reason I got lucky today. Because I just got out of the shower and no one's here, but I don't know. Let me know. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't think this is the end of the video yet, but I'm still just gonna say it now. First of all, comment cucumber in the comments, but let me know if this video has even made the slightest amount of sense, or if you relate. I know a lot of people relate to having overprotective parents, but I didn't realize how much this, like, affected my character as a person until we were finally able to talk about it and, like, address that there was a problem. So I'm really happy, in a way, because of that. Because I can actually become my own person, but... Is that another village? It is. I found like 3 villages in this video. But yeah, as for just in general, things are going well, things have happened. I've sort of escaped the first half semester type of videos where I was just saying that, like, college is no different from how it was before. It's still kind of true, but I've adjusted. I'm happy to be here. I am enjoying myself. I have friends, you know. I'm saying this because I really do feel like there's a lot of people who watch my videos who actually do care about me and, like, how I'm doing, which I'm really appreciative for. Love you all. Anyway, I'm gonna get to this village and then I'm gonna end this and then... Yeah. I feel like maybe, like, I need to, I don't know. Like I said, this video felt very necessary. Even though it is very personal and it's like family matters, so I probably shouldn't have made it. It's important to me. It's gonna help a lot, I think. More to come, more interesting videos to come. Here's what I didn't realize before. Whenever I would tell actual stories, like the fucking gut-wrenching stories that I would tell, I felt okay telling them, and I kind of thought it was just like, oh, I don't really care. You know, I get over it kind of fast. I just want to tell the stories. I care more about making an entertaining video that, I don't know, exactly. I realize now that isn't true. The main reason... I thought I could place downstairs. The main reason why I was comfortable telling those stories was because it was in the past. And now that new stories have formed, besides this video, I feel like I need time before I'll feel comfortable telling the stories. But stay tuned because it'll be interesting. Oh, trust me, it'll be interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna end this. Let's see the time. I have like a class to go to in a couple of hours. So yeah. Goodbye. I'll be uploading this. Thank you for listening to me, as always.